We do the.
All right. Time being 9 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would now entertain nominations for the 2025 Houston County Commissioners Chairperson.
I would make a motion to nominate Eric.
Is there a second to that nomination?
I'll second it. I'll make a motion to seize all nominations.
Right? Do a roll call.
Bob, you don't want to?
No.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Maybe next year.
All right. So there's been a motion, a second. Nominations cease. Do we want a roll call vote or?
Good. All in favor?
Roll call.
All right. So we'll call for a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Okay.
All right. Well, I guess you can keep the gavel then and carry on.
All right. Good enough.
How about vice president?
What's that?
He'll do that now.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're up for nominations for vice chair.
Bob Schultz, I nominate.
I'll second that.
Nomination for Bob Schultz. Been seconded. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right.
There's nothing changed there.
Now we got the agenda. Everybody's seen the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda? Any changes or questions?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. All right. Approve the previous minutes from board meeting on December 31st, which was a pretty big meeting, so.
It was.
Everybody had a chance to look at those. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Public comment. Anybody in the public who would like to make a comment? Seeing none. Do appointments, which is to open sealed bids for official newspaper for 2025.
Hey, good morning. We had two official newspapers that did submit bids before the deadline, which was December 31st. So we'll do the Caledonia Argus here first. Okay, so Caledonia Argus, reads as follows. Official newspaper for 2025. The official proceedings of the county board and all notices required to be published in the county's official paper. All of these line items are based on a charge per inch to certain specifications. So they're based on a 7-point type Arial font with 8-point leading. So we'll just know that going forward. Charge per inch for the county board and all notices is $3. Miscellaneous notices that are not required to be published in the official paper are $3 for the legal rate per inch, and the display rate is $3 as well. Printing of the 2024 financial statements, charge per inch, $3. Publication of sample ballot information per inch is $3. Publication of tax forfeiture information, $3 per inch. And the publication of delinquent tax lists, Houston County provides the data in a typeset format with the delinquent list being published by only the successful bidder. Charge per inch is $3. Okay. So there is that one. And Fillmore County Journal is the second. Okay, official newspaper for 2025. The official proceedings of the county board and all notices required to be published in the county's official paper. Charge per inch with the special specifications is $7. Miscellaneous notices that are not required to be published in the official paper. Legal rate, $7. Display rate, $7. Printing of 2024 financial statements, charge per inch, $7. Publication of sample ballot information, per inch, $7. Publication of tax forfeiture information, charge per inch, $7. Publication of delinquent tax list, $7 per inch. Those are the two that were submitted.
Okay, we've heard the bids for the official newspaper.
It's quite a discrepancy.
Same as before, or are they increased rates? No?
Last
The
year,
same.
Are they the same rates as last year, or are they increased?
I
Just curious.
do not,
well, Argus went down, weren't they $5 last year?
I should have pulled that.
Yeah,
For this
I
meeting
can't
that
remember
I-
either.
Okay.
No. Yeah, I should have pulled it, sorry.
No, that's fine. Well, what do you guys wanna do? I mean, it's kind of a big difference there, but
At least between the two, it looked like the Argus is the lower of the two
Yep.
bids. And we had the Argus for last year.
last year,
Correct.
Any complaints, happy with how everything went?
I guess I didn't necessarily hear anything either way, good or bad.
Is there somebody here from the Argus?
I think we got a new reporter back there.
I'm reporting for the Argus, but I don't handle any.
Well, you'll be the one coming to the meetings, correct? Annette?
you're welcome to come and sit on the desk here. That would be a little easier for you to write.
On the knee.
Welcome, by the way.
So just for your information, the official, or the rates last year for the Argus were $5, $9 for the miscellaneous notices, and the others were $5. So it has gone down.
Just based on that information and having no issues with the county, I'd make a motion to accept the bid from
Okay,
as our official paper.
motion's been made. Is there a second?
Would Billy be to adopt resolution number 2501?
So moved, thank you.
Second it.
Greg seconded it. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. All right, thank you. Up next is the consent agenda. We have 3 items on here. Any questions on those? If not, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Moved.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Just noting a thank you to the Winona Community Foundation for the work of getting that grant or donation.
Yep.
Good deal. I agree. Thank you.
Put that note in there as well. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Moving on to action items. Consider adopting resolution 25-01 and designating 2025 official newspaper. I guess we've already done that. Number 2, consider adopting resolution 2502, account powers granted for Merchants Bank. Polly.
So that's just to kind of conduct the day-to-day business.
Yep.
Open accounts, write checks, transfers.
So move.
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Number 4, consider adopting resolution number 25-04, authorization of use of alternative method to disseminate bids and requests. Brian, did I miss one?
Yeah. For ESB Bank, same
Oh,
thing.
I'm sorry, I already checked that off. See, I'm already messing up.
Don't worry.
Resolution 2503, account powers granted for ESB banking.
That's the same as,
Thing,
Same thing.
just
I'll
different
make a
bank.
motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign.
Thank you.
Thank you, Polly. All right, now we'll move on to resolution 2504, authorization to use alternative method to disseminate bids and requests. Brian.
Yep, so this is something that we do for the highway department every year for the last roughly decade plus. The reason for this is that we have bidders from all over the state bidding on our projects. It's not just from the local area. So Minnesota statutes allows us to designate or use alternate bidding methods to disseminate bids, so we can advertise on our county website, and also from there we filter stuff through Quest CDN. So that's where the contractors all look, so they know where to look instead of having to look at local paper every week to see if there's a new project out for bids. So nothing new this year. It's the same as what has been done in the past.
Okay.
Should work all right, shouldn't it?
What was that?
It should work okay doing it that way.
Yep, it's worked good in the past.
Done it that way in the past, right?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to authorize the alternative method of disseminating bids and requests.
Motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right?
Pose same sign.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Number 5, consider approving county-issued credit cards for Cindy Wright and Kurt Zender. Carol.
So I did receive their signed employee acknowledgements for the issuance of the credit cards, so you need to approve them having them.
Okay, is
So move.
there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose same sign. Okay, number 6, consider approving Wildcat Park contract. Carol.
All right, so, the committee met and discussed the contract for the upcoming year with Justin and Jenna. We did, go through and increased the compensation from 52,000 to 54,000, which technically is really only a $1,000 increase, because after 52,000, they would have gotten half of it anyway. So that's the change, and the other, major change is that the reservations will be handled by the park managers. Last year, in an effort to get the online reservation system set up, we were basically handling the reservations, and they worked with the reservation system throughout the season last year and are, very familiar with it. This way, we don't have to worry about the reservations here, and they're up for that. So those are really the major changes in the contract. It was reviewed by Sam before he left, and he has signed the copy, as has Justin.
So he's already signed it?
Yes.
So then it doesn't have to be changed then.
What was that, Kurt?
It doesn't have to be changed because Sam no longer is here, and in the packet, it showed his name on the bottom of it, which would have had to get changed to,
Well, and he signed it as reviewing the contract.
so going forward, if the board approves it, his signature's already on it and Justin's is already on it, so therefore it's just our signature here.
Right.
here.
It will just be Eric's.
So-
I wasn't sure who the board chair was, so I actually took the name off, so I'll add, right in Eric's name.
And I don't think it's a problem there,
No.
if it was already reviewed by him.
So is the
Going forward,
reservation system working okay now, or is that working well and
Yeah.
no complaints, or?
Oh, well, there's always complaints. And then, you know, there is an issue with how you do your reservations. Like if you do the monthly reservation, there were some people last year that didn't extend it out to the next day where it actually calculated a monthly. So they were billed like the daily rate for all 30 days.
Okay,
So then we were doing refunds and, you know, different things. And then, of course, with the flooding, we had issues of refunding people, and we're hoping that we don't have that this year, but
Right.
never know.
you never do. Never do. But they, you know, they handled reservations of people who came in who didn't have access, internet access, because it all has to be done online, and they did fine. People wanted to change their reservations different days. They figured out how to make it work, you know,
Go down there and
so
camp down there,
they've done a good job.
is there a contract? Signed them.
And nothing's changed with the Army Corps is either?
No.
Floods, it's not their responsibility, I mean, you're just out.
There's, conditions on your,
There is conditions there.
You guys, what are you discussing over there?
I was wondering if on the contract that they signed, say a monthly or seasonal, if there was conditions that if it flooded, that's under your own risk, or if it's responsibility by the county to have to pay that, to pay them their money back.
Question. If it happens, the county makes the decision.
Okay, so then it would be decision at the point of.
Right.
Yep, that would be an action item. We did that last year.
Right.
Yep. At the point of whenever they have that issue.
Okay.
yeah, last year, the 4th of July, we had to
Yeah.
have a special
Yep.
meeting, shut it down.
You know, each event might be different, so you really hate to set, you know, this is the exact terms of what happens. You know, what if it floods for 3 days? What if it floods for a month like it did? You know, I think it should be addressed individually if there are those incidents. The year before, it was at the beginning of the season. Last year, it was 4th of July.
But what we're approving is just our contract with Justin.
Right.
And so as far as policy otherwise for reservations, that gets handled as. in
Through the
park-
ordinance and through the
ordinances
fee
of the park
schedule.
Committee, yep.
So nothing else has changed in the contract? No updates?
Just
Well,
those two things she.
The two things, but we did have it be a 3-year contract so that they can, you know,
Okay, that was my next
be
question.
settled. And then the change in compensation, it addresses that the board will review that at the beginning of each, before the, you know, January 1st. So that, I mean, if it's not making money, it might be a lesser amount, or if it's making more money, the board might, you know, entertain a higher amount. But it's not, a dollar amount is not specified for the next years of the contract.
Didn't we put in there to be negotiated after the first year? Just on the.
It'll be negotiated prior to January 1st of the next year, of the preceding years. Preceding.
See, Brian's here, yeah. Good working relations last year and happy with the service?
Yeah, they've done a really good job.
No other changes that they wanted to see in the contract than what was brought forward?
No, we'll just be looking at some improvements we can make to some of the buildings down there to make them just a little more efficient, and
Contract-wise, we're,
contract-wise, I said he signed it.
with that information, I'd make a motion to approve the contract with them for this year.
Okay, motion made. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
So it's a 3-year contract and the price is in there, but
Just for the first year.
so then the second year and the third year, each year you're gonna renegotiate the price, okay,
Their contract amount.
all right.
Will that require them to sign a new contract every year, or they just got the 3-year contract?
I-
It's only line item that changes, just the money amount?
I indicated in there that that would be done by an addendum to the contract
All
each
right.
year.
Just wanted to be clear on that.
But I have never heard no bad reports from anybody down there. From you, Brian? Outside of people dumping the gray water, that's the only thing we had any trouble with.
All right,
Oh, and that was the year before. Had a good report from the Department of Health
I
last year. There were just a couple of issues.
mean, I think they're doing a really good job.
all right, motion's been made and seconded. Is there any other discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, number 7, discussion and possible action regarding county attorney office staffing level. Carol.
All right, so typically the county attorney's office had a county attorney and 2 assistants, for the operations of it. During COVID and with the decreases that we're seeing, one of the assistant county attorneys was laid off. We're getting to a point, and especially with Tess leaving and the county attorney's office being more responsible for the data practices, the contracts, writing contracts, different things that come up, we are actually requesting that we put the staffing level back at a county attorney plus 2 assistant county attorneys. In 2020, when the attorney was laid off, there was $60,000 plus budgeted for the remainder of her salary that wasn't used. In 2021, about $50,000 was budgeted for contract services to, bridge that gap, and really none of it was used. Sam kind of took on all of the, the things, well, him and Sue, so they're busy. And I think it would just be beneficial for the county to have someone who is more accessible for the board and for, the other attorneys in the office. And I did have, Sue is in court this morning from 9 o'clock until after 11. So she did send an email that she was requesting approval by the board to hire 2 full-time assistant county attorneys. And the reasons are include, which, the traditional staffing level of a county attorney and 2 assistants. And COVID, because of COVID, it changed the composition. There were a lot of the trials conducted via Zoom, but now that's coming more into on-site. Resulting in the need for additional attorney coverage. And then with the retirement of Tess, the county attorney's office is going to be more responsible for those items that Tess, being an attorney, handled. The HR officer that we're advertising for is not a requirement to be an attorney, because it's more appropriate for that to be done in the county attorney's office.
Contracts and.
Contract reviews, yep.
Yeah,
Could you
so-
forward that email to us? Oh,
Sure.
Ready?
And she does say, with the lack of a county administrator, any other county issues or disputes will be handled by the county attorney's office, which may not be the case.
well, yeah, you're the administrator, so.
Yeah, it was way down.
Oh, you don't have your computer
I
yet?
saw that.
Not yet,
Maybe I'll
it's coming.
print that.
That's fine.
City email sent to my phone.
So what do you guys think?
Well, I'm on the personnel, and I would like to hire 1 to start out with, because we have nobody in jail. I mean, there's not a lot of stuff going on that way. And I think we should just do 1 and then hire a second if we need.
You said there was 60,000 one year and 50,000 essentially the next.
The next year, and I didn't get that one up on the screen.
Where'd that money go?
It's in our fund balance.
So that stayed in there.
With only hiring 1, that would only replace the Sue moving up to the county
Right.
attorney,
Right.
so it would keep the staffing level the same as it is now. They do have more workload with the different
Contract,
contracts that we got going on, with Tess leaving us in the restructure. We've got some land use things coming up, and
Yeah, and That's becoming a big
Or
issue.
thing that we put a temporary moratorium on that I know the Amelia's office is gonna need extra help in.
I was gonna mention that, like, from the land use perspective, some counties have an attorney kind of dedicated to working with planning commissions and the Board of Adjustments to some of the decisions that they make. And it's, I mean, Sam was always there as a resource, but it would be something, if we could have somebody dedicated to kind of solely helping us with those proposals, that would maybe be
The committee that I'm on with land use, we get to meet with the majority of the department heads monthly, and it seems like every one of those have a load that I think that the county attorney's office probably should be involved in a little bit more, and it has staffing shortfalls there, so I'm not against the two that start with. It's always something I think we could possibly review. Have it be a set time, is that something that's we looked at, or?
Well, I think if we said it, it's gonna be the, it's gonna be the two, but I agree with what you said, Bob.
My thought.
Yeah.
Would that be a motion?
Well, is there any other, Cindy, what do you think?
I actually agree with two, because if you're looking at your county attorney leaving and Sue is stepping up to that role, I think there's always, in talking to Sam and others in those roles, there's always a lot of issues and stuff covered by that role that really isn't written down. So one thing that I would also support is looking at those roles and seeing the assistant roles and seeing what is it that they're covering. So we have a better idea of, you know, what, like the contracts and some of the other things that are coming out of possibly department heads or administrative areas that are going to the county attorney's office then, or vice versa. So two is what I support, because I think it sounds like, you know, with some of the things, the legal issues and some of the things that we have coming on board, it would be better to start with two.
Land use is really a big thing that's
Well, we always reverted to Mr. Squires too for the land use stuff. Maybe if we had a couple of people that had some background in that, we could do less of that and do it in-house too.
Who is that? Who is that?
Jay Squires,
Oh, okay.
yeah, he's a land use attorney.
Oh, okay.
That we've
Okay.
used
Oh,
on the
so-
side, yep.
Yeah.
So if we approve two right now, Sue's in the interim role until the end of what would have been Sam's term, correct?
Correct, yep.
So hypothetically, if Sue's not going anywhere, because she's done a wonderful job, then we have two more we hired, and then now the county attorney position comes up in 2 years, and now somebody else runs and they get it, now we have four.
in which case one of the newly hired attorneys would be laid off.
Well, that
It would-
would be something that we'd have to deal with at that time. I mean, we can't
It
deal
would-
with hypotheticals.
It would depend on
Correct,
who,
but
of
I mean-
course.
But that's something that we'd have to address at budget time too, especially. Budget time, you would address that situation. You know,
I
okay,
just don't like
being
hiring
overloaded.
somebody and then firing them
Right,
because now
and,
we're
and,
overstaffed.
and we don't wanna say that we're gonna lay them off either. So we don't wanna cross that,
And it would depend on who actually filed for the position of county attorney. And as you can see, the last few elections,
Nobody.
there's
It's
not
always
people
been-
really lining up for it. So it would be the assumption that one of the
Any job in,
one of the people who is in the office would probably apply
probably.
or
That could-
probably
that could be
file for
possible
it.
too.
This is all,
Yeah, we're all talking hypotheticals.
I don't have I
And you can
don't
do
have
that with
a,
any position.
I'm just looking at the finance part of it
Yep,
and just
yep.
bringing it up.
Nope, yep. That's something that we'd have to discuss at budget time, if that scenario ever came to
One full-time and
play.
one permanent part-time.
Yep, yep. Mary, you raised your hand.
If it's appropriate, I would just kind of echo Bob's comments and Amelia's comments, that it would really be nice. I don't know if you know me, Cindy, I'm the recorder here.
Yes.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
I would echo that, it would be really nice if we could find someone with some. Sam, by his own admission, did not do a a lot of real estate work, and he didn't have it. He wasn't the best, that wasn't the best resource.
He was spread thin. Yeah.
Always tried hard and he did a good job, but
Yep.
that wasn't his.
Yep. Yep.
I would just add my.
Do we have the budgeted money for that? For two? Are we
Yeah, it's
budgeted for?
in, the money that we have levied already for the positions is still in our fund balance.
So we can make it work.
Yeah, well, next year and probably part of the next year, for 2025 and a little carryover for 2026.
I mean, as long as we have applicants that are interested in coming here, I think we should, let's try to get them when we can. So Bob, you want to make that a motion?
Yeah, with that being said, with the budget being there and the need being there, I would make that a motion.
Okay. Cindy seconded. Any other further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
All right. Number 8, consider approving Resolution 25-05 annual appropriations. Carol.
So the listing was in the packet of the 2025 annual appropriations. These are all included in the 2025 budget, which has been approved. There's always been a resolution done the first meeting of the year to just memorialize those appropriations. People like to see it in the paper, the amounts that we're giving to the different areas.
There was an addition of
Yeah, the
3,000 to,
the Bluff Country, Minnesota Multi-County Housing and Redevelopment Authority.
Right.
They requested $3,000. We typically, up through 2021, was it? We gave them $5,000. I don't really remember the reason that it was eliminated. And they have been doing okay, but now they have more projects that they requested $3,000.
any question on those? The biggest one there, of course, is Selco. 197,000 and
Once again, do those vary by year, or have they been about the same?
About the same. Selco is negotiated through a contract, and this is the last year of the contract. They received
Was huge.
$7,500 for ARPA money for 3 years, and then the increase in the contract amount was 2%. So that will need to be negotiated for 2026.
that was for each library, wasn't it? 7,500
Okay.
for each library.
For each library.
And there's 5 of them, correct? 4? 4 or 5, something like that. Crescent, Hoka, Houston, Spring Grove. Does Eitzen, and Caledonia,
Caledonia.
5. Eitzen doesn't have one,
No.
so there's 5. That was ARPA money that we
Okay.
donated with.
And it's, the ARPA money isn't referenced in the contract, so when it comes to negotiating the contract for the next years, we typically like to do 3-year contract with Selco. That money isn't something that will be, I'm sure they'll say, well, at one time you gave us this money, but it's not part of the contract.
Any questions? If not, is there a motion to approve the appropriations?
After discussion, everything in order, I'd make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Number Number 9, consider reviewing and approving payments.
So the 12/31 auditors warrants are payments that we processed on the 31st so that we could have them cleared out. They were actually like 2024 budget money. So in order to make our budgets look a little more accurate, we process on the last day of the year. The election systems was the new equipment for Poly that the board approved earlier in the year.
49,000, yep.
We ended up allocating some of the ARPA funds, remaining ARPA funds, to cover a portion of that, which adjusted our 2025 budget to get within that 7.5%. The Minnesota Department of Corrections, I had asked them if this is a billing for January through June of 2024, and we still hadn't gotten it the last couple weeks of December, so I emailed, could we get that before the end of the year? And we got it on the 31st.
So why the delay? Was
Not
Yeah,
sure.
it's sad that you have to ask for your inefficiency, maybe.
Just one of those things, but we did get it in so that, our budget for 2025 isn't going to show additional payments. The city of La Crescent is unmatured special assessments that taxpayers pay throughout the year. So then on December 31st, we send that to them. I don't know if there's any other ones that you have questions on.
that Stonebrook Engineering one, is that for that Brownsville thing, Brian? Study on the Brownsville intersection there, that they're still working on that.
So there might be more next year or this year.
How far are they on that?
About 75%.
Okay.
Grant allocation.
You guys got questions? You got your own little meeting going on over there.
He's asking what the La Crescent one was, and
I don't have a
lot of
computer in
them
front of me.
Oh, I know, that's fine.
We have to.
You guys got questions, just bring them up and we can talk about it as a board.
Someone else might.
Which one? The La
The
Crescent,
La Crescent one, he had a
the
question.
39,000? That's where taxpayers, if they have a special assessment,
Yep.
they pay the unmatured balance, then
We have to facilitate the money for it because it comes in.
Right.
they pay it before, the balance of it before it goes on their next year's taxes, the principal and interest, so they pay the unmatured balance.
Perfect.
So this is a list of what has not been paid. There's other payments made throughout the year, right? So you're looking at the warrant list is just what is still outstanding at the end of.
Yeah, we try to,
2024.
go
Okay.
through and clean up.
Thank you.
and See what's submitted. It makes it easier. We don't have to record accounts payable due to other governments if we can pay them on December 31st. So the next group is actually the payments for January of
Yeah, we do this every month,
2025.
monthly.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
It's something new we started this year, last year now, to do it as a board action. We always got those payments emailed to us or bills.
Audits list.
Yeah,
You get the detail list emailed to you.
right.
Right.
But the
Lynn,
Lynn and Human Services, they send you the detailed lists.
Yes.
That you'll get to look and see what they're actually for. This is just a summary that's required to be published.
Okay. That answers my question. Thank you.
So the payments for this, for the January 2nd, the actual commissioner's warrants, the Arthur J. Gallagher is the airport insurance for 2025. And then the Houston County Treasurer is reinvesting some of our fund amounts that were collected for the recorder's compliance, the EDA revolving, and the county recorder's equipment. Those are things that are required, well, not necessarily, required to be put into a separate account so that we can track it separately, so we know how much is there. The recorder's compliance and the headquarters equipment are required by statute to be separate. The EDA, we just keep separate so that we know.
Okay. Any other questions? Now's the time to ask. If not, is there a motion to approve the payments?
So move.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. Okay, now the fun part. Consider appointing and updating Commissioner Committee assignment list. Does everybody have the list in front of them? You can go through this. Carol's gonna help us through this too. Great, Carol.
All right, so we may as well just start out with the Community Services Standing Committee.
Yeah,
This committee meets,
second Tuesday of every month at 8:05. So, and just to point out too, your per diems are listed at the top there, what you get for attending these meetings, and if they're out of county, you get a little more, and so on. The planning commission, this is their rate of pay too as well.
Like you had Dewey and Bob on that one?
Yep, on the community services, yep, that's with, to meet with John and Rob from.
I'm interested in that one, yes.
Okay. Yep, Dewey was on that and Bob Burns was on that.
I'll take that.
You'll take that? Yep. All right, sounds good. Is that okay with everyone?
Perfect.
It'll be Cindy and Kurt. Next one is Land Use Public Works Standing Committee. Bob and I have been on that. I'd like to stay on it.
That's the one we're going to twice a month.
I was just gonna say that's something we've decided we wanna meet twice a month, cause there's a lot of stuff, and then to get it done in 50 minutes is kinda hard, so.
When are you meeting?
So it'll be second Tuesday and the fourth Tuesday.
That's for Public Works?
Land Use and Public Works Standing Committee, yep. I'll stay on there. Anybody else wanna be on that?
Continue it, so
Bob,
I can continue. I think it'd be a conflict for you two because you'd have your other one. That's at the same
That's right,
time.
if you're on the, yeah, you couldn't be,
Right.
yeah, okay.
Only option would be me or you. I'm already on it, I'm fine.
Are you already
Okay.
on it? Okay, well, if you wanna stay, that's fine.
Finance Standing Committee. Dewey and Bob were both on that as well. And they meet the fourth Tuesday too, so,
I guess it's you and I,
what's
want-
that?
Yeah, because we already got it.
because you guys are already,
or Greg.
or Greg, yeah.
I'm interested.
I
Not
think I'm
just
already on
because
that.
of, not by
Bob
default.
was on that already.
Okay,
Dewey and Bob.
Cindy and Kurt?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the next one is Personnel Committee, and that was Dewey and Greg. Or,
I talked to Dewey. If no one else is interested, I can step up to that one.
Oh,
Interested as well, if nobody else is.
well, I'm on there, and I guess the only reason why I'd like to stay on is because we're doing the contracts for unions right now. We ain't quite got them all done yet. But when that's done, if somebody wants to take my place, that's fine.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if you're not still moving forward with some of the current work, you might wanna,
we have LELS. LELS 60 is settled, LELS 237, the deputies, actually, we meet Friday. And LELS 415, which is the lieutenant or sergeant.
Those are probably sergeants. The LELS, probably sergeants.
415, Steve Gary.
yeah,
Oh,
450.
those only is Steve?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
What
one
are
of
the
the,
sergeants?
it's,
So,
That's just for the lieutenant position.
Lieutenant.
415 lieutenant. There's just one.
yeah, just one,
Steve, yes.
one, and,
One-man union. And then the chief deputy is a one-man.
right,
He used to be on MAPE. He got switched over to his own.
to LELS. There haven't been any sessions with him, so I'll have to get some dates set up, but 415 has requested mediation. February 3rd, I believe, is the date that they have, that works for the union and the Bureau of Mediation Services, so that'll be something that we look at with whoever gets appointed.
So personnel is gonna be Cindy and myself,
No,
Bob and me.
you,
Bob,
yeah, you and Bob.
Bob Schultz and Greg.
Okay.
And if after negotiations, Greg, if you'd be willing to give it up, and then city could,
Or next year.
or next year?
or next year.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
You never know. huh?
Right.
It could be a long year.
Might get
Someone
it.
could quit in middle term too, so I mean, it happens.
It has.
All right. Okay, we got that one. ADA committee.
I'm interested. Are you on this one too? Eric?
Yes, yes. But if you want it, that's fine. I mean, I don't think I've ever met with that.
I
There's,
think there's two,
it's you and Dewey right now.
Yeah.
it should be two, right? There's,
So it's required for the highway funding, and when was the last time that was addressed? Wasn't there something just a few months ago that Tess worked on, or last year? Or 2023? Something,
ADA committee last met. I know we've been doing ADA improvements on projects.
Right.
Sidewalk.
And we're dealing with that as a full board, so,
Yeah.
yeah.
I can't remember that one.
I could stay on it, and Cindy, if you want to be on it.
Sure.
All right,
yes.
we'll do that. Cindy will take Dewey's spot. That's okay with everyone? Airport Commission. Is Bob and Greg has been on that?
I'll go on that.
You want to take Bob's spot?
Yes, sir.
Greg, you want to stay on?
I suppose I better, we've kinda got some stuff going on.
All right. And, the canvassing board, that gets decided at the time, so. Child mortality review team, Dewey was on that. That's only meets when needed, and hopefully
Yeah,
it
and
never
it-
happens.
it hasn't been needed for quite a few years.
Cindy, you'd be a good.
Well,
fit
thank
for that
goodness.
With your background
Yep.
anyways, so.
Yeah,
Cindy, you want to take that one?
Cindy's got her.
I'll stay on that. Take Bob's. There's two on
Well,
there.
you're on the CJ.
Oh, that's the next one.
That's for the
sorry.
safety committee.
Sorry.
Yep, so
You're
Cindy will be
next.
on the term, yep.
yeah, child
So the
mortality.
CJC Safety Committee was Bob Burns.
And
You
down
see-
below, the CJC committee was Bob Burns also.
Yep.
I think the CJC committee, I think it could actually just kind of be combined because they,
Well-
the discussions at the same time, but,
What's the difference?
well, one is safety and the
Criminal
other.
Justice Center.
Okay, focused on just the safety, got it.
Why can't we combine those two?
Seems to me like you could.
I go to those meetings on and off anyway as a police chief, so
You wanna take them, Kurt, and
Yeah.
then combine the two?
that's fine.
Oh, it's CJCC committee /
Both of them.
Why don't you just go safety and CJCC?
Because then if one has to meet or focus on safety,
There's really no set
We'll come up with a name.
term for it.
So Kurt will be on that, and then we'll have an alternate. If Kurt can't make it, who would like to do that?
I think I was alternate before, wasn't I?
Yep.
Yeah.
Bob, you want to continue on as alternate?
Absolutely.
All right. Parks Committee,
Oh, the
did I miss one?
committee for closing courthouse
Oh.
in emergency situations. is
Well, that's
the-
just the chairman of the board and all the.
For the
yep,
board, the sheriff, the highway engineer, and the emergency manager.
Right,
I suppose we should probably change that to chairperson.
yes. Okay, now to Parks Committee, this is to serve on the Wildcat and Botcher Parks Board. Greg Greg and, Dewey were on that before.
I'll stay on that one, if you don't mind.
I could probably pick that one up.
Okay, Bob Schultz, take the other one.
Extra time on your hands.
Yeah,
So then Dick Walter has actually resigned from the committee.
Okay.
The Parks Committee will be bringing a recommendation for a replacement for him.
Okay.
do they email you or what do they?
Yeah. Sure, I'll email you. Probably, one of the two.
Board of Adjustment is what it is.
There's no county commissioner on that board.
Right,
Can there be?
no,
Okay.
it's a quasi judicial board, so.
Yeah, I wondered if that wasn't
Yep.
a conflict,
Yep.
yeah. So they do need to
the A
have one
stand for?
appointed though, it looks like, for
They appoint,
users.
Planning Commission appoints one person to be on the Board of Adjustment from their,
Oh, so that, yeah,
Yep.
right.
which was, Jim Weezer last time, yep.
Right, now he's off of the planning commission as well.
I should note too, got an email from Amelia about they're gonna extend the search to the 13th, I believe. Is that correct? For planning commission members,
For applications.
applications? Yep.
Is there one so far, Amelia?
Yeah,
One application has been received? Okay.
Yeah, you don't have nothing scheduled for January, right?
just some cannabis business, or inserting the cannabis business in the, so something kind of minor, but I
Okay,
think we can act with what we have currently.
yep. So the next one would be planning commission. Greg's been on that since he's been commissioner, I believe.
I'll stay on it, I guess, if somebody else wants to serve with me.
I can come off because I'm currently
On that,
chair on that committee, but that would be not as a county commissioner role. So that's what we were talking about, filling another spot. I think that's the only one. No, Jim Weezer's.
Yeah, so we have two open
Two spots,
spots
be
then.
yours and Jim Weezer's.
Right.
So Greg, I'd like to be on that if I could.
You're welcome.
So
Only-
not as alternate, but just as the
As-
designee?
As the designated one, if that's okay. And you could be the alternate if you'd like.
I guess whatever.
I'm only saying that because I just, there's this solar thing coming down the pike. I could, I have some interest in making sure we get that right. And help with Amelia on trying to get that done in 6 months, but you've been on it since you've been commissioner, so if you're okay, I would like to take that over.
Go for it.
All right.
We should also update what I had on my list here, what you have on your list. I don't know if that one's been updated on the, oh yeah,
It says no set term, what does it mean?
For which one?
never mind, it's been updated. I just had an old copy. We didn't have members, we had vacant
Doesn't say
down
like
there
often.
on my copy, but no,
Okay.
it's updated, it's good.
Mail you.
What's that?
I was just asking about it, what the no set term meant.
What?
No set term?
Oh, you're getting on the,
No, I'm just.
No, it's
I
on
don't
there.
say no set term.
For the Board of Commissioner, it says no set term, and
right, there's
So
no
the
set
planning
term
commission,
for the board appointed person on the planning commission.
you could actually be changed every year.
Right.
Whereas the others serve a 3-year term.
Yep.
That's what I was asking, thank you.
Yep,
So was Josh Gran reappointed on there?
yes.
Okay.
We did that
You
last.
did that, okay. I knew that was to come.
Okay. Safety Committee. Bob Burns was on that.
Yeah, so the safety committee has been rather non-existent for quite a few years. The unions basically have all requested that be something more of a regular quarterly type meeting. for various safety issues. So it will be more active than what it has been in the past.
You wanna do that, Kurt?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, the next one would be the external committee representation. Now, this is for the AMC meetings, district meetings. I've been on the Environmental Natural Resource Committee for AMC District 9. Dewey was on Transportation Committee, and Bob Burns was on,
Public safety.
Public safety.
yep.
AMC stand.
You currently have,
What's the
Bob,
stand
you're
for?
on human,
Association of Minnesota Counties.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on the
Yep.
Human Services. Is that one you wanted to switch around or something?
transportation then and public safety are both currently open if you don't want to change, is that correct? I would probably fit better in either general government or human services rather than transportation.
I could switch with you.
And, okay, so human services for me and transportation for you?
Okay.
Sorry, I might just get ahead of you.
No, that's fine. We're doing this all together. So Cindy will be on Human Services.
And then they email you on the notifications.
Yes, they do.
Sometimes they're hard to find. Blend in your emails.
Oh, from AMC?
Yeah,
Oh. I get some, I don't get a lot.
What's that? What was the question, Bob?
I'm just telling her that they email you the.
Okay,
Yep.
I'll look for those.
sometimes-
AMC will be
Sometimes
emailing.
they
I think
get
I've already
blended in,
gotten
yeah.
a few, so
Yeah.
already
Yep.
this year. So then you.
So we got that switch done. So Bob went to Transportation. Okay, now what did,
Bob Burns had public safety. Seems,
So you,
Well, thank you. Appreciate that, Bob.
would you like to do Public Safety?
I would be thrilled to do it.
Okay, all right.
So as far as the emails go, just for clarification, do you just read the AMC newsletter to see when they're meeting, or do they actually individually email you?
They individually email you. If you're on this, if you're designated to be on this committee, they individually email you saying, this is what our agenda is, this is what our discussion is.
So which
And
one
I'll
of us lets AMC, who's on it?
I will do that.
Okay,
so we'll have to get switched around.
just want to make sure that people got the right
Right, because,
email.
yep,
Always.
Carol will
Yeah.
by who's on the committees.
So then the next one, the AMC Delegate Assembly is just everyone.
Right.
I just have HR officer.
You don't have a choice.
Next one is Bear Creek Watershed. Greg, you've been on that. You want to stay on that?
Well, I've been under a long time, unless somebody else wants it, go ahead and take it.
It's in your area, so. Next one is Bluff Country Minnesota Multi-Housing Authority. Cindy, you expressed interest in that.
Yep, I'm interested in that one.
Bob Burns was on that, so Cindy, you'll take that over, if that's okay. Board of Health, that's everybody. We meet quarterly.
I'll get the dates too.
Yep,
Like, I know I saw them somewhere or heard them
Yep.
discussed, so we'll get the dates updated.
yeah, we usually meet in Mabel. I think the last time we had to Zoom because they couldn't get Mabel's venue, so,
Oh, okay. The venue.
the venue, yeah,
Venue.
it was being used for something else.
It's like everybody's on that one.
Yep, everybody, we meet quarterly and everybody goes to that, if you can make it. Next one is for the Shack representative. Dewey was on that, Community Health Services Shack delegate.
Well, first it's the,
I'm missing one. Oh,
Nursing.
yeah,
first tasking, yep.
yeah, the CHS, Bob Burns.
Does that even meet?
It does. That's an advisory board that we have.
Okay,
I'm interested in that.
Is there a set schedule or is it when needed?
So it's a set schedule.
You can have that.
Is it like quarterly or monthly? Okay.
Sorry.
And just for fun?
So Cindy on the CHS advisory?
okay, Cindy's on that one. Now it's to the Shack representative delegate.
Interested in that one.
Cindy, you want to get on that one too? Perfect. The EDA board, right now it's myself and Greg.
We missed one, I think.
Watershed.
Crooked Creek.
We don't appoint
Watershed.
anybody for that.
Oh, nobody's on there.
That's, yeah.
Never mind.
That should actually be on one of the external committees or something where.
Right, that's just,
Yeah.
those are people that
Yeah,
we appoint. It's their
Just
own
follow
board,
along.
their own levy authority and everything, so.
Missed that.
Now, the EDA board, correct? I've been on it and Greg's been on it. I'll stay on it. Greg, you wanna stay on it or
Yeah, I
anybody
guess
else
I
wanna
can.
take that over?
I'm still interested, but that's up to you.
Up to you, if you want it, you go ahead and take it. I don't,
Okay, I will do that.
Okay. Cindy will be on that.
So that probably opens up another public spot.
It does, yes.
Extension committee, that's been Greg and I. I'll stay on that.
well, somebody else want mine, they can have it. I mean,
You can stay on it.
okay,
You did a good job, Greg.
That'll stay the same. Family Services Collaborative Governing Council. That was Bob Burns before.
I'm interested in that one as well.
Anybody else interested? Seeing none, that's good. We got you covered there. Hiawatha Valley Mental Health Center Board. Bob was the main one and Dewey was the alternate.
I would do one of the roles.
I'd be the alternate.
Okay, so Cindy will be the main and Kurt will be the alternate. Okay. Jail, go ahead.
the next committee, the Hiawatha Valley Resource and Conservation Development Area.
Okay, now you're on a different,
No, it's the next one down from the mental
yeah,
health.
see, I've been following this one and
Oh.
go back and forth
Well,
here.
anyway, it's no longer a committee, so I'll be taking that off.
I'm using the sheet.
Yeah, we were going by this.
You're using
Gives you a
the
little
book
bit
and I'm
more
using the
information.
sheet. Yeah, I've already read that. So.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's not on there. The sheet, on the spreadsheet.
Right.
There wasn't a county representative, except the county appointed Dave Walter as the county board's rep. But
Same.
it's not a committee anymore.
So the juvenile detention facility, Olmsted Detention, Sue Bublitz. Is that still a thing?
I don't know that Many Rivers is open right now.
Formerly known as Manny Rivers, yeah?
We'll check on that.
Yep.
I think it closed.
May very well have closed.
What's that?
I think it did.
Because we can't take anybody over there right now.
Take them here.
Take a-
Correct.
that one. Yeah.
All right. The next one was a jail operations review committee that was started up during our jail discussions. Do we want to keep that and as a
I believe so.
communications, I think it'd be a good committee for communications to with the sheriff's office and jail part
I
to,
think with the jail still being
yep.
down with what's going on and whatnot, that we should at least.
I think it's something that you guys should try to meet at least 4 times a year or twice a year, whatever, at least to.
It'd be nice to get a set schedule set on. that.
Right, that's what I'm saying, to get a set schedule so we know, have an idea what's going on and you could, it's not public knowledge of how many juveniles are in there, but it'd be nice to know how many there are at any given time, and not, we don't need to know anything else, but.
With the proceedings that we've been working on with the jail, I think it would be beneficial to meet at least probably twice a year, not maybe.
Yep, and that would be with Carol and Brian and Mark Olson, and it'd be.
Well, it'd be Rachel Meyer and Mark Olson.
Right,
They kind of are flip-flop there now. It says
Okay,
Mark Olson,
yep.
jail administrator, but,
now it's switched around, right?
I would be interested to be in on that.
So,
oh, I already had you on there.
All right.
so it'd be Bob Schultz and Kurt Zender on that. That
Carol,
makes
can
it,
you work at getting with Brian, the sheriff, and letting them know that we wanna get a quarterly schedule?
Is that, just a question about that group, do they review like other jail, other county systems?
We
Just
have,
see-
yeah.
Okay, I'm curious, just to see in comparison, you know, with the number.
Right. We kind of, it was formed more kind of because of switching over to the juvenile, the low staffing,
Okay,
we had a lot on our plate for a while.
okay, that's settled. Lacrosse County Solid Waste Policy Board. Louis and Bob were on that.
Yeah, I talked to her, Dewey asked about me, I was alternative, I can step up for regular on that one.
Okay,
Need an alternative.
anybody wants to be alternate on that?
well, I live close.
You wanna be
I can be
alternate?
an alternate, yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
We'll talk trash.
Fun, it's better than
pun, right?
the other word I was
You
thinking
can
of.
legally talk trash.
Will that be in the paper?
Yeah.
And then I did change
I
Amelia
quote, Bob will
Miners
talk trash.
from Martin Herrick on there.
Yep, good, that's good. MCIT voting delegate, that's for when you go to AMC meetings, you can be a delegate to vote on MCIT policy issues.
MCIT is the Minnesota Counties Intergovernmental Trust where we have our insurance.
Had to look that one up.
It doesn't say in, yeah.
was a long
People
one.
always go, it's the insurance
Intergovernmental
trust, but it's intergovernmental
Uh-huh.
trust. But
I could be on that.
Yeah, I never had to go because Bob always
Yeah,
stepped up.
and I usually go to the AMC thing, so
I'd stay alternative if you wanna. take
Okay.
the head on it.
if that's okay with everyone? I'll replace that one. MCC voting delegate, Carol. What's that term for you? All right. The One Watershed One Plan, we meet quarterly in Preston. I'll stay on that. It's something that I've learned to do, and it's a good, I have an interest in that, if that's okay with everybody else. All right. Southeastern Minnesota Emergency Medical Joint Powers Board.
Fine to stay on that.
Bob will stay on that. Emergency Management Board. That's just,
That was Dewey and Bob.
is that how it was?
no, the Emergency Management Board is
That's just-
like Mark Olson, the emergency management staff, and
Yep.
then the sheriff.
Right. It's
Oh,
not-
okay.
None of
I'm
us.
going to the next one, sorry. I was looking at that one.
Next one will be the Communications Board. Dewey was on that and Bob Schultz before.
How often did you meet on that?
You were the alternate, right?
Yeah, I was the alternate, I never had to do, he always took care of it, so. I couldn't even tell you how many times they went, so.
That's about emergency communications.
Right.
That'd be right up your alley, Kurt.
Oh geez, I'll do it.
It's Rochester.
Great. How often do they meet?
That's a good
We'll
question.
find out.
They meet regularly, I believe. Dewey always reported on it.
So are you?
I don't know, it might be quarterly.
Unless you want it, you can.
Me, not me. I'm good.
Okay, Kurt will be the main, Bob will be the alternate. Kurt, if you can't make it,
You gotta let me know.
let Bob know.
Sure.
So you'll
Alright.
get the notice in the email, cause usually they don't email the alternate.
Right. We're good on that?
Yes, sir.
Selco Board, this is for the Selco Library Board. Bob Burns was on that.
No interest.
I'm interested.
Perfect. Cindy?
And I do really well with this, don't we? He's interested, I'm not, or vice versa.
It's a nice compliment.
Yeah, I think so.
Appreciate it.
Cindy will take over Bob's spot there. SEMCAC. Bob Burns was also on that. I was the alternate.
SEMCAC is the one where
If no one's interested, we just have to appoint someone, so it doesn't necessarily have to be a commissioner.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So, and Bob Burns had indicated that he would do that
Oh, he wants to stay on the board.
if.
And then
so
he'd
the-
report to us then, or what?
Right.
That is awesome.
Oh, it's something I don't think we've ever done before, but if that's something we can do, I guess, if everybody's okay with
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
we'll leave that to Mr. Burns. He can give us a report. All right. Southeast Minnesota Tourism.
Yes.
Cindy said yes for that. Take over Dewey spot. Seven Rivers Alliance, that's all of us.
How often is that typically, that's Seven Rivers?
they usually don't meet. I mean,
Never-
they've had a meeting in Houston County, it's been, they usually don't meet with all of the commissioners. They do meet with a group of, economic developers, and they hear from different people, and they do have, like meetings that are open to the public. And, Chris Hardy, who's using the word, not the CEO, but their main director guy. He is on our like childcare core team and our housing core team. But I don't think that they invite the commissioners unless it's like a big event. If anyone was interested in going to their meetings more regularly, they could. I was once asked to be on the board, but it was just too hard for me to get to all the meetings. They're in the region, so they kind of travel all over.
So the full board is noted on there.
Technically, yes, because Houston County is part of the Seven Rivers Alliance. So we usually don't meet, but we are connected with them through these other channels, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, the next one is Smart Trails. I was the main one and Dewey. Does anybody else would like to take that over?
I'm interested in either alternate or
How often do they meet?
times a year.
6 times a year? Do they actually?
They don't always,
They don't always,
and
and,
I don't always get the emails
yeah.
I think so.
for whatever reason. So they've had a lot of changes in staff, I think. I don't know if that's why, but we should probably reach out to them and introduce the new people. Make sure we're on the right list.
Well, Cindy, if you
There's a
wanna,
lot of notes on here
Yeah,
about who to contact.
if you wanna be the main and I'll be the alternate,
It's up to you.
that's fine with me.
Okay.
I'm not trying to get rid of it, but I mean,
No, that's fine.
know you
We
expressed
can work
interest in
together on
that.
that. Yep.
so Cindy will be the main and then I'll be the alternate.
Okay.
Township Officers Association, that's to meet with the county Township Officers Board.
I'd stay on that.
Greg, you wanna stay on that?
I think so.
All right. The Water Planning Committee is being dissolved. So,
That's funny. The water planet is being dissolved.
yeah, well, it's being dissolved because there's a lot of repetitive, stuff with the River One watershed thing. It does a lot of what they already do, so. Workforce Development. Dewey was on that.
Yeah, I'm interested in that.
Cindy said she was interested. Is that okay? All right. The WinLAC Soil and Water Board, that's, Dewey was the main and Bob was the alternate. Bob, you said you'd
Yeah, I can move up.
be the, pick up the main and that's your district too, Cindy?
I can do the alternate then. Yeah,
Okay.
perfect.
So, we gotta be, feel free that if someone can't make it, you can just call on your alternate to do that, see if it'll work.
Carol, do you have all of the contacts for every one of these for the new list then? A lot.
I'll see what I've got.
'Cause I know like even on soil and water, that Winlek one, they wouldn't be unless, cause the Dewey would.
Dewey was the main, so that's the only one they
He
had.
always, they got the email so that they know, I don't know how we know to let all of
We'll
these.
let them know they should contact the
The alternate too as
alternates
well.
also.
Well, you'll have to be
And I think-
updated.
But they
update to
they
you.
typically wouldn't email me.
So is it soil and water here that,
No, this is out of Winona.
This is the WinLAC one, that's
yeah, I
the,
know, but
Crescent.
we're like the fiscal agent. so
We
I
are.
I didn't know if,
Root River is a fiscal agent for that.
but the administrative must come out of Winona County, where they send the notices from?
Assuming so, yeah.
Okay. I'll find out.
I think it comes from Dave's office.
Okay. I'll check, that'll be my first contact is Dave.
Yep. I think that's it.
That's all? So many. That's good.
So did,
Well, and it shows the appointed county offices, the county assessor was appointed for another 4-year. So
Oh, yeah.
12/31/2028. And the veteran service officer was also appointed at the beginning of 2024, so that would be 2028.
and those are 4-year terms.
Brian will be coming up in April.
Robert and Luke have already been, so they're in their term, so. And the medical examiner, he does come and give us a review every year, so. All right. Carol, go to discussion items. You got any updates you want to bring to us?
We do usually just.
Oh, need a motion to all that?
No, if you want to, but
All right.
we usually do.
Do,
go to-
because somebody is definitely an appointed for something, so, yeah.
Do you want a motion to approve those?
Those committee assignments.
I'm motioning to approve the
Okay.
committee assignments.
Cindy made, and Kurt seconded a motion to approve all the committee appointments. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.
All right, so I guess in conjunction with that, you've all received your sheets for your reimbursement requests, monthly reimbursement requests, and that's, the per diems are, basically what's listed on the sheet, and
If we don't know, you'll help us out.
they're reviewed, they're reviewed before they're paid. The GSA mileage rate increased to 71 cents per mile.
I saw that.
It kind of explains the whole thing in here. You don't get a per diem for the regular meeting, but like, say you have the Joint Board of Health on Tuesday afternoon, you get a per diem for that, but no more than 1 per diem per day. Well, of course, it's a per diem. Some of the committees actually don't have a per diem, so,
Right, like the ones we have before the meetings, like land
yeah,
use, and
the
there's
land
no
use.
per diem for
Like the
that.
Personnel Committee, if they do have a per diem for negotiation sessions,
Yep,
and grievance sessions, but the regular, addressing personnel, like, well, we want to look at this at the Personnel Committee, that's not a per diem. So, different things.
Anything else?
No, that's,
That's it?
we're good.
Okay. I don't have nothing new. I just wanted to welcome Cindy and Kurt to the board. You guys got any questions, feel free to ask any one of us that have been on here and we'll try to answer you. If we can't, we'll find it, so. Okay. Greg, you got anything? Nope. Bob?
No new updates.
All right. Anything else you guys want to say?
Not yet.
All right. Anything, closing public comment? Anybody want to bring that up? Anything up? Okay, if not, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Thank you.